Bonjour. A while ago, a few weeks, maybe a month ago, a guy dropped off these B&O S80 three-ways. The idea was to replace the foam surrounds on the woofers because like a lot of the older speakers with foam suspension, it just degrades and completely disintegrates. Apparently this is the second time these have been done, which I'm not too sure on, but okay. So yeah, like I say, three-way design. Woofer, dome mid-range, quite a decent size, 3-inch, and a inch plastic dome tweeter. So yeah, in terms of driver arrangement, quite a good speaker really. These are a bit of a Marmite speaker for a lot of people. I think they're quite popular. A lot of people love them. A lot of people don't. I had a pair of these 2 years ago, something like that. And I remember actually quite liking them. They've got this kind of bezel that the tweeter and the mid are on, which is kind of tilted down. So they work quite well if you're more listening to them on mid-axis than tweeter axis. And this paper cone woofer, which is a bit of a strange thing really. I never particularly liked this woofer from what I remember before, but mid-range HF, pretty good. Very hollow box, kind of cast plastic front. But yeah, so basically they're in to have the woofers repaired, and the guy has given me a replacement suspension kit, which we'll get onto that shortly, and to check out the crossover, measure them, and to recap the crossover. So the reason I'm only showing you one of these is because I've also already done something with the other, and there's a reason for that. So hold on. Right, so this is the original woofer out of the other one, which I've started to clean off. I mean, the suspension on this one had just disintegrated, but if it has been replaced before, it's, yeah, I'm not too sure that it has. It looks a bit too factory to me. This is a paper cone. Really, I want to try and clean this up a bit, but what I can't do is wet the cone too much. But it's yeah, paper pulp kind of woofer. I've put some tape there to stop things falling inside, but it's a very small magnet, pretty large voice coil, but this is open to the airspace in the cabinet, so it can breathe through the dust cap, which, yeah, it's very strange. It's a small woofer, not a fan in all honesty. I don't know who makes it, whether it was something B&O made themselves. I don't know, not a fan. Anyway, this is the suspension that the guy has sourced, and it's just too small. As you can see, it catches the surround okay, or the basket, the chassis, but there's not enough meat on it at all to catch the cone. So it's far too small. If this is meant for this woofer, it's completely wrong. So let's put that away. So I gave the guy two options. I said I can either look at getting another foam suspension kit for this. I mean, there's tons of them out there, and do that, and then we can retain this woofer. Or I said, chances are, because I'm not a fan of this, it's not particularly great, chances are I've possibly got something else secondhand that would fit this, and I have. What I've got lying around is a number of woofers, and these are from a Ditton 22. 8-inch driver, same as that, but just much better. Bigger magnet, better basket, just a better driver all in all. These play reasonably low. I've done the measurements on these before the surround of the other one fell apart, and 60 Hertz they start rolling off. I've crudely done some measurements with this in that, and 50 Hertz is the roll off. So whilst there's some integration work to do, that's better. And I'll show you the speaker that I've fitted it in. Looks better as well. Right, so this is the other speaker which I've taken apart. I've fitted this woofer into. I've measured this, and from 800 Hertz upwards I'm exactly the same as the other. I do have a little bit of a dip suck out at the moment because this is retaining the original crossover, which isn't correct for this, so I've got some slight adjustments to do. Shouldn't be too difficult at all, but it's better. It sits in there. I think it matches these better, just a better driver. So we've got a rubber suspension, not foam, which will degrade. And yeah, by the time I've refitted all the polyfill, fixed it in place, I've done a new gasket for the front bezel. We're a bit more solid now. So yeah, so what I need to do is recap the crossover on this, retaining everything on the mid and tweeter circuit, and integrate the woofer. So let's have a quick look inside the other one and we can see what we're dealing with internally. Right, so 6 screws on the front get you inside these. They're a bit plastic fantastic, but yeah, I quite like the way they sound. They're okay. These mean something to the owner, which a lot of these speakers do. I find a lot of these older speakers come with sentimental value. They've got memories attached to them, and yeah, I'm quite honoured to get the opportunity to work on them and you know, keep that going really. It's quite important that I retain the character of these. Whilst we're using a different woofer, I think we can do that, possibly improve them. So we'll see. So those 6 screws get you inside, and yeah, carefully cut the binding posts which have been sellotaped on. Nice. Right, so we'll come back to that in a minute. So yeah, inside polyfill just loosely laid around inside. Like I say, I've stapled this in on the other one. It smells very burnt in here. Yeah, these are loose. New binding posts have been fitted to these, which are loose. As you can see there, originally they had the old speaker connections. So I'm going to replace these. They are not ideal for this. So yeah, there's the box. Vinyl, I think. I don't think that's a veneer. It might be. But yeah, very thin wall, 12mm chipboard. Some ply battens here for the front to screw on. So a very lossy cabinet. Just a little bit of gasket here. I ran it all the way round on the other one, which sealed them in nicely, but obviously that woofer is breathing through the dust cap, so in terms of pressurization in the cabinet itself, it's probably not going to be great. I don't understand that. It's very strange. It's almost like the magnet section here is being used as an internal port. Very odd. Right, so there's our bezel, and let's turn that over, get our screws out. Here we go. And there we go. Okay. So our woofer is clamped in here, which is strange. There's that hole. Yeah, very odd arrangement. So like I say, it's I think a die cast plastic. We got this overload protection in the signal path, which is rattling away. So we want to tighten that up. We don't want to hear that, which we probably would do. And our crossover, we'll have a look at this. We've got some teeny tiny resistors, some ceramic resistors, bigger iron core inductor, that's probably the woofer, and a cap with a little resistor, all electrolytics, little air core inductor there, probably on the tweeter circuit, another iron core. So yeah, we've got this enclosure here that the tweeter and mid sit in, all push fit connections. Are we gonna yeah, get rid of those, solder directly just to improve it. Yeah, so that's the inside. So what I'll do, I'll put up the measurements that I've taken of this speaker, and we'll do another video where we replace all the components on the crossover, map it out, get this woofer changed, integrate that properly, shoot new measurements, and yeah, see where we what we end up with, because I think probably there's a decent speaker in here. Right, thanks for watching, catch you soon.